Hello YouTube, this is lifenextdoor.com. Ancient Greek building, architecture and temples. Number 5, Temple of Hera, Lacinia, Agrigento, Sicily. Building since 460 BC. The name is like that one of the other Greek temples at Agrigento conventional. The architecture of this building, erected on the southeast corner of the Valley of the Temples at the height of 120 meters above sea level, is obvious the worry of a rigorous artistic perfection. Temple of Hera, Lacinia was devoted to Juno, goddess of marriage and birth. It was built at the same time as the Temple of Concord was built and was destroyed by the Carthaginians in 406 BC. The effects of the Punic fire are still visible in the color of the stones of the cella, whereas the original colonnade entrance to the cella and an altar in the east is preserved. It was restored by the Prince of Toremusa in 1787. Today, 30 columns are standing but only 16 with their capitals. Number 4, Temple of Concord, Agrigento, Sicily. Building since 430 BC. Following the route between almond and olive trees, we saw the magnificent Temple of Concord. The path is all surrounded by limestone rocks that were used as walls by the inhabitants of ancient Agagras, and later it is also used in Roman times as a cemetery. It is constructed like the nearby Temple of Juno on a solid base designed to overcome the unevenness of the rocky terrain. It has been conventionally named after Concordia, the Roman goddess of harmony, for the Roman era Latin inscription found nearby, which is unconnected with it. The temple, built between the years 450 BC and 430 BC, is one of the best preserved of all Magna Greece. Even though it was transformed into a church in the 6th century and plundered during the Middle Ages, you can't stop yourself to be stunned with such beauty. The inner compartment is all surrounded by columns, giving all the curiosity about the Temple of Concord. Number 3, Temple of Athena, Nike, Athens, Greece. Building since 427 BC. The Temple of Athena, Nike or Nike Aptera, is a hymn to the goddess Nike and femininity, that is Ionic. The temple ran 27 feet long by 18.5 feet wide and 23 feet tall. The total height from the stylobate to the acme of the pediment while the temple remained intact was a modest 23 feet, built between 432 and 420 BC. The temple stands on the eastern wall of the Athens Acropolis and followed the plan Callicrates architect. Number 2, Temple of Apollo, Corinth, Greece. Building since 540 BC. It dominates the whole area of archaeology, which is ancient Corinth. With new lighting since January 2013, you can now be awed after dark as well. It is the oldest known architects that describes as the preserved Greek temple. According to the mythology, Bellerophon captured the winged horse Pegasus where the temple stands. Temple of Apollo at Corinth was built between 540 and 550 BC on a rocky height overlooking the Agora of Corinth and later renovated in the Roman era. The temple was built in the Doric style. It had 6 columns at each end and 15 along each side. It was 53 meter, that means 174 feet long, and 21 meter, that means 70 feet wide. Number 1, Temple of Hercules. Building since 406 BC. It's been built around 500 BC and is one of the oldest buildings that portrays the Greek architecture. It was destroyed during the siege and looting of the 406 BC. Later it was rebuilt by the Romans and destroyed by the force of nature, by an earthquake again. The building structure has a row of 15 columns on each side and 6 front on the porch. 8 of the columns on the south side were reinstated in its original location in 1923. Hey, thank you for watching our video. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And yes, keep following us.